بلش. Dear students, good afternoon. Welcome to our first seminar for grade 9 this year. At the beginning of this seminar, dear students, dear colleagues, dear partners, let me first introduce my colleagues in the studio who are going to participate me in this seminar. Miss Umayma Sherba, an English supervisor from Tartus. Good afternoon, Miss Umayma.
Good afternoon.
And Miss Najla Dubesi, an English teacher from Damascus countryside. Good afternoon, Miss Najla. Well, dear students, as you know, our seminar for today is specified to talk about Unit 1. As you know, dear students, in Unit 1 we have some important skills. We are going, of course, at first to discuss some texts in the student's book and in the activity book. After this, we are going to cover maybe some important grammatical skills in Unit 1. I'll try with my colleagues in the studio to explain everything in Unit 1. I'd like, of course, to remind you, dear students, that you are invited to call us during the seminar to ask about anything you feel important or not clear to you. We will be ready to answer your questions as a group in the studio. Well, first, Miss Umayma, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Let's start talking about the reading skill. Of course, in each unit in our course, in the curriculum, we have 4 skills in the book, and we try to concentrate on the 4 skills, not only on 1 skill. The 4 skills, as you know, dear students, are the reading skill, the listening skill, the speaking skill, and the writing skill, Ms. Najla. At first, we will try to practice reading with you. I hope that you can watch us, and maybe if when you feel that you don't understand something in the text, you can call us and ask about it. Ms. Umayma, let me first start with the first text in Unit 1, which is at page, I think, 12. That's it, which is called The Buried City. The title is The Buried City, Episode 1. Here is the story of Tariq and his friends. It's the first day for Tariq in or at his school, because he came back maybe from a long journey or a long trip with his family from Canada, and he went back to his country, and he is thinking now about his new school, his new classmates, maybe new teachers, new atmosphere. Everything is new to him. So I'd like you to read the introduction for the students. Would you please read the introduction? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The Buried City, which is the episode 1 here in Unit 1.
We can, of course, use the laptop, the PDF. Thank you. Thank you. We can use the laptop if you like.
So
thank you very much. Okay, this is the introduction, The Buried City,
yes.
Episode 1, New Friends. Yes, please.
New Friends. So to start with, I'm going to read the first paragraph. Tariq couldn't sleep. He listened to the sounds from the street. He smelled the flowers from the garden, and he felt the warm air in his room. Everything was familiar. He was living again in the house where he was born. But it was also very different from his old home in Canada. Then he thought again about the next morning, his first day at his new school. Was he excited or nervous? He didn't know. He was thinking about his new school when he finally fell asleep. So this is the first paragraph.
So this is the introduction, the first paragraph. Let me ask you some questions. Ms. Najla, yes. I'll start with you. So why couldn't Tariq sleep?
Tariq couldn't sleep because he was nervous. He is now thinking about the differences maybe between his life in the past in Canada and his new life in the future here in Syria. And this comparison made him somehow nervous, so he couldn't sleep.
Good. Thank you. Miss Umayma, he was listening to something in his room. What did he listen to?
was, as we read the paragraph, he was listening to the sounds.
Coming from the street.
Yes, sounds from the street, as he couldn't sleep. So he listened to the sounds from street. He also smelled.
So, Miss Umayma, here they say in the introduction that everything was familiar to him.
Yes.
What is the meaning of this sentence here? When he was listening to the sounds from the street, he smelled the flowers from the garden, he felt the warm air in his room again. So what was familiar to him?
It's not strange because he was born here.
He was born here, maybe in Syria, and he went to Canada with his family. Then he went back to his country. So this is the meaning of this sentence. Everything was familiar, everything was known to Tariq. Very nice. Because he was living again in the house where he was born, as you said. But at the same time, this house in Syria maybe is very different from his home in Canada.
Yes.
So that's the meaning. They say it was also very different from his old home in Canada. So maybe the student gets confused maybe when he reads these two sentences and they are maybe contrasted. Why? Because the first sentence says everything was familiar. Then they say it was very different from his old home in Canada. Here everything was familiar. They mean the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the same because it is his country, as you said, Ms. Umayma. But his house was not like the home in Canada. That's this is the meaning of the sentence when they say it was very different from his old home in Canada. So he was thinking about something, right? What was he thinking about? Ms. Najla, please.
Yes, he was thinking about his new life here in Syria. What kind of people, of friends, about his school, his new school. So for this reason he gets somehow excited or nervous. But the difference between the two lives was the thing that made him excited and nervous.
Thank you very much. I think your answer is very clear. Okay, dear colleagues, we are not going, of course, dear students, to read the whole text for you. We have just tried to show you how you can understand the main ideas in any text.
Yes.
Let's go on to the story now.
Yes.
To complete the story, Tariq, at his first day in his new school, he was doing something. What was he doing, Ms. Umayma?
Yes. The next day,
Tariq
was studying a book in the school library when somebody spoke to him. Well, he was studying in the school library when someone talked to him. Okay? Then we have a dialogue between him and this someone who is this person or his friend, Hussein.
Good.
So he was studying in the library, okay?
Very nice.
A book. Now, while we read...
So he was studying in the library. What was he studying or reading? He was reading a book. A book about what?
About Busra.
About Busra.
Because
we read that later.
Yes.
We read the dialogue and we notice the student should see that he was reading about something.
Okay. How long, let's say, did Tariq stay with his family in Canada? When we read the text, when the student reads the text and completes it, he finds the answer. Miss Najla, please.
Yes. Now, Hussein, hello, I'm Hussein. I think we are in the same class. Tariq, oh, hello. My name is Tariq. Hussein, what are you reading? Tariq, it's a book about Busra. I'm reading lots of books about ancient history at the moment. I love it. Hussein, I quite like it, but I prefer science. Where was your old school?
Let me interrupt you, stop you here at this point, Miss Najla.
Yes.
Tariq was talking to someone new, a new classmate. He is called Hussein. And Hussein meets Tariq for the first time, and there was this talk or this dialogue between the two friends or the two students. They are not friends yet, maybe. So he was reading, a book about Busra, as you said. Hussein tells Tariq that he prefers reading about science, right? Hussein, not Tariq. Tariq says, I quite like it, but I prefer science, right? he asks him about his old school, and Tariq tells him about his new school. Where was his new school, Miss Umayma?
It was in Canada.
It was in Canada.
Yes.
I asked you, how long did they stay in Canada?
For
they
6
stayed
years.
for 6 years. Why did they go to Canada? What was the reason? Why did Tariq go with his family to Canada?
Well, his
it's a
father
good
was-
question, because his father
Worked as a university
worked
professor.
in Canada.
Yes.
He was a professor there.
Professor.
What did he teach in Canada?
Literature.
I mean, Tariq's father.
Arabic literature.
He was a professor and he taught
Arabic
Arabic
literature.
Arabic
Literature.
literature. What do we mean when we say literature? What is the meaning of literature? I'm sure that dear students, our dear students, let's say, are trying to find an answer for this word or the meaning of this word. And I'm sure they know it, but maybe some of them don't have an idea about the meaning of this word. So what is the meaning of literature? I mean everything, all literary works, such as poetry,
Drama.
stories, drama,
Novels.
any written texts
Is
are
literature.
called literature, right?
Right.
They are pieces of literature or works of literature. So the literature is like a culture for people. I mean the works, the literary works, people, let's say, perform or achieve during their life, right? Tariq, when Hussein goes home, he tells his sister about Tariq,
Yes.
right?
Right.
And what about his sister Nadia? His sister is called Nadia, right?
Yes.
Nadia finds that the story of Tariq is very interesting, right? And because she likes writing articles in her school magazine, Hussein tells her, why don't you write a story about my friend, my new friend Tariq, in your school magazine, right?
Yeah.
This is the main ideas of these are, sorry, the main ideas, dear students, of this text, episode 1, about the buried city. So it's the first meeting between Tariq and Hussein. They became friends.
Soon.
They know about each other's. Hussein tells or told his sister about Tariq. We should not forget that Tariq also has a sister. His name is Salwa, as you can see, and she is 11 years old. How old is Nadia?
14.
14 years old.
Yes.
Very nice. So let's try after this to do exercise 4 together. In exercise 4, dear students, we have a number of questions about the first text, which is episode 1.
Yes.
Are you ready, dear colleagues?
Of course.
I'm sure that, I hope that our dear students are trying to work with us, and they can open their books now or watch the screen, and they can, or they try to find answers to these questions. We are sure that they did this with their teachers. Maybe some of them, let's say, find some difficulty when doing them. Let's try to do them together. Question number 1. What did Tariq's father do in Canada? Miss Najla, please.
Yes,
Again,
Tariq's father works in Canada as a professor of Arabic literature
Good,
and in
good.
the city of Montreal.
Thank you. How long did they live in Canada?
They lived there for 6 years.
Very nice. Miss Umayma, please. What do Tariq and Hussein have in common?
They have sisters.
They have sisters.
Each one of
Tariq
them has
a
one sister.
and Hussein has a sister.
sister.
Very nice. How old are their sisters, Miss Umayma?
Well, as we said
Nadia
earlier,
is-
Nadia is 11 years old, and Nadia
14.
is 14, sorry,
Salwa?
and Salwa is 11 years old.
Thank you very much. What impressed Hussein and Nadia? Miss Najla, can you tell us?
Yes, of course. Hussein and Nadia were impressed by the story of
Tariq.
Tariq, his life in Canada, and the differences there between the life there and here. So they were impressed.
Very nice.
Yes.
What did Hussein ask Nadia?
He asked her to write about Tariq and his life in Canada.
Good. Are there any more details about Canada might Tariq give to Hussein?
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe.
Maybe.
Many ideas.
Maybe he can tell his new friend Hussein about how they were living or the way of his life in Canada.
Yes.
He can tell him about the people in Canada.
Yes.
Were they friendly?
The
Were
atmosphere
they
also.
What?
The
Yes, sorry.
nature.
Not only the people, the
Atmosphere, the life,
school,
the nature,
The nature,
the school maybe, the teachers, the classmates, everything. He can tell him a lot of details about his life in Canada. So we hope, dear students, that you can also, as let's say, human beings in society, you can tell your friends, your partners, people, anyone, stories about you. This is, let's say, the main purpose of the text, to tell stories about people and to tell stories about yourself to others.
Yes.
I'm sorry, before we go on, I think we have a call from Rita. Good afternoon, Rita. Good afternoon. Are you with us? Rita? Okay, no call. No call, we can go on. Thank you. I think, dear colleagues, Rita is not with us. There is no call now. Okay, let's go back to the first exercise. I think exercise number 1, dear colleagues, dear students, is very important because it talks about some adjectives or explains, let's say, some adjectives. I mean, the meanings of adjectives. Let's try to read them, and we can use, if you like, the laptop. Thank you very much. Dear students, you can look at the list. Miss Umayma, the stage is yours. Would you please read the words in the list?
Do you mean on page 13?
Exercise 1.
Exercise 1. They have to choose a feeling for each situation.
Good.
Well, we have excited, nervous, angry, embarrassed, scared, worried, upset, and impressed. So we have the students should choose a feeling for each situation. We have different situations here.
So the first one.
The first one, Lubna loses her school book.
So that's it. I want to ask our dear students the same question. When you lose something, when you lose your book, your school book, how do you feel?
Yes.
It's a very important question, and you have to know how to express, let's say, your feelings to others. So what do you feel when you lose something? A bag, your mobile phone, your school book, money, anything.
Yes.
So
we feel upset.
We feel upset. Maybe some people feel angry. Others feel upset. Others feel worried about this.
Yes.
So it differs because we are different as human beings, right?
Yes.
And the reaction is different from one person to another. Rita comes back again. Rita, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rita.
Good afternoon.
Would you please raise your voice? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Raise your voice, please. No voice at all. Sorry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, Rita.
Good afternoon.
You can use the headphone, not from the TV. You have to listen to us from the headphone, not from the TV, Rita. Rita.
She may have a question.
What is your question?
I just want to ask what's the difference.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I just want to ask what the
I can't hear you.
What's the difference between could and managed to?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go on. Maybe you can repeat your call, please, Rita. You have to repeat your call and use the headphone. Don't use the TV to listen to us, okay? Use the headphone or the speaker, the telephone. Thank you. Let's go back to our exercise. Exercise 1. Miss Najla.
Yes.
When we say Umar's little brother breaks his computer game.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's a problem.
When he breaks his computer game.
Yes.
What do we mean when we say he breaks his computer game?
That Omar now has lost something very special and very important to him.
Does it mean? Does it have the same meaning when I break a glass, for example, of water?
No, of course,
it's not
at
the
all.
same.
Yes.
We
It's
mean
serious
here that
here,
the
more
game
serious.
is not working.
Yes.
The game in the computer is not working.
Yes.
And
The information he needs are
so
not available
he
now.
He can't use it anymore. So how does a person feel in this situation?
Well, very angry.
Very angry.
Of course, yes.
Maybe.
Sometimes angry, sometimes...
Sometimes if this happens to me, okay, I feel upset a little bit, but it's not necessary to get angry maybe, right? It's okay. Afra, we have a new call. Afra, hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Afra.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I just want to say something.
Are you a student, Afra?
Yes, I am.
In grade 9?
No, I'm not grade 9, but I just want to say something.
Okay, why not?
I just want to say that I think that we teach English in a very bad accent to all grades, and I think that we really should work on that in Syria.
Yes.
And I think that this is really a very big problem, actually.
So what is the solution in your opinion?
I think that people should listen to music more and just watch movies more.
Very nice.
And just really make a big deal out of it. You know, it's not like something simple.
Thanks a lot for your advice. I
so
appreciate really
I
your advice to your classmates or your colleagues or partners in grade 9. You advise them if you want to improve your language, if you want to improve your English, you have to read a lot, to listen a lot to, let's say, songs, films, watch films, why not? Sometimes read different texts in different fields. Of course, this will help you to improve your language. I can tell you that your English is perfect. You can speak fluent English. It's very clear, not only to me, but also to my colleagues in the studio.
Nobody knows me. Just by music and movie.
You told me that you are a student, right?
Yes, I am.
In which grade are you?
Actually, I'm in college, so.
My God, you are a student at a university. Good.
Yeah,
why not?
English literature.
Thanks a lot for your participation.
Thank you
We
so much.
appreciate
Thanks for
really
listening to
your
me.
advice. Do you have anything to add?
No, I just want to wish you all guys just the best, and thank you for everything you're doing for our students.
Thank you, Afra. We are doing our best, and that's why we have seminars for English, not only in English, in French, and in all other subjects. We try all the time to help our students to improve their language, and that's why we have seminars. Thank you again for your participation.
Thank you for listening.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, a nice call, right?
Yes, right.
Of course.
She's from the university, a student at university, and she liked to add something to our
And I
seminar. Why
also
not?
appreciate her
Okay, we
ideas.
appreciate her call. Again, let's go on to number 3. When we say Fahad hears a noise in the middle of the night,
Well, in the middle of the night means that he gets scared.
he is sleeping, and suddenly he hears something strange, a strange noise. So how can a person feel in such a situation, Ms. Najla?
Yes, of course he will feel worried about, because every one of us knows that darkness at night, it's the time of calmness.
Yes. So when he hears something strange suddenly, of course he should feel worried about it.
Yes.
Why not? Miss Umayma, please.
Scared.
Therefore,
I think
he is just about to do an exam.
Well,
When you have an exam, how do you feel?
nervous.
Nervous, huh? Okay, why not? Maybe some students don't have the same feeling.
Maybe.
It's not necessary to feel the same, by the way, dear students, right?
Right.
We have different feelings, different emotions,
Of course.
different reactions. But here we are trying to, let's say, to give you an idea about the meaning of these adjectives. That's it. Number 5, Ms. Najla, please.
Rashid's friend does a very good project.
Good. I think here we should have a good feeling.
Yes, of course.
When you
Yes.
do a very good project, what about your feeling in such a situation?
Yes, I feel impressed, of course.
Impressed,
Yes.
Excited, happy.
Excited,
Why not?
happiness, yes.
What about number 6, Siham? Siham's grandmother is in hospital.
hospital.
Now worried.
I think all people feel the same in this case.
Yes.
Of course, they feel sad maybe about their grandmother if she is in hospital. Number 7, Maryam forgets the answer to an easy question. It's an easy question, and she forgets the answer. I think it's not a good feeling when you do so. Right?
That's right.
Yes. So
she feels embarrassed.
Yes. Embarrassed. Yes. Isa wins a prize. Oh, a good thing here.
Yes.
He feels excited.
Excited?
Yes.
Why not?
And happy, of course.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think it's time now to go on to talk about something different in the activity book, which is in or at page, let's see, yes, at page 4. Maybe not at page 4, at page...
well, on page 4 we have
some exercises.
About
we are going
feelings.
to cover this at page 6. Yes, that's it. Here at page 6, dear students, as you can see, here we have 3 stories or 3 texts, different texts.
Yes.
Right? Am I right?
Right.
Yes.
In the first story here, there is a story about a student. Who can tell us, let's say, a summary of this story about this student?
Well,
Miss Umayma, okay.
Yes, this student got a postcard which arrived after 30 years. So the postcard was late to arrive to this student because of many reasons.
Good.
One of them that he traveled a lot. He studied, he went away from his parents.
Okay, that's why he, let's say, wrote to his parents.
That's right.
So he was not living with his parents. He was a student.
Living
He's a
alone.
student, but he's not living with his parents. Where was he living?
Well, he was living away from his parents. He was studying, and he had a heart
He was
attack.
a student at a university.
He was a student at university, right. So, when he sent the postcard to his parents, it arrived after 30 years. It was very late to arrive because he traveled a lot, he moved places, and the neighbors, his parents at the same time moved from the house they were living in. So the card was moving around the world until it reached.
Good.
That's
so,
right. It's a funny article.
And it reached after 30 years.
Yes.
Could his parents read the postcard? Did they read it? I don't think so. Right? Because if you read the last line in the story, they say the postcard was slowly traveling around Poland. The writer's parents moved not long before the card arrived. So they left before the card arrived. So the neighbors sent the card back to him, to the student. Right?
Right.
I think there's something. Did he have some problems during his life? I think yes.
Yes.
Because he has some health problems.
He had an operation.
Good. He had an operation. A serious heart operation in hospital.
Yes.
Right, Miss Najla?
Yes.
Good. Before we go on, I think we have a call from Miqdad. Good afternoon, Miqdad.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What about English, Miqdad? Do you have any problems with English?
Yeah, it's good, but I have...
You have a question?
Yeah, in student book.
With what page?
Student book, model page.
Module 6? Okay, module 6, please, Miss Umayma. Module 6. What page?
What page?
What page?
Good afternoon, Maqdad.
Good afternoon. Page 44.
Page 44, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your question?
Hello? Can you hear me?
What is your question? Okay, I hear you, Miqdad. Page 44, what exercise?
Well, Maqdad, on page 44, we have
a text here.
A text, not
only one text. You can talk to Miss Umayma. Okay, Baghdad, you can talk to him.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you sure that it's page 44? Because when I opened the student's book on page 44, it was a text here. So what page do you mean? On student book. Or what's your question, please?
Baghdad, can you watch us on the screen? Okay, that's it. Is it the same page? Can you see the screen now? Is it the same? Okay, what is your question about it?
Yeah, it's training, however. Yeah, it's page 44.
Okay.
Article 1.
Exercise? We don't have exercises here.
No, 44.
Page 44, the student's book, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what is your question? Ask me, what is your question?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, I hear you, Maghdad.
Because I can't hear you here. It's
Okay, speak, please. I hear you. Say the question. What is your question? Ask me. You have no questions, Maghdad. I'm sorry. I can't continue with you. Maybe when you are ready, you can ask your questions.
You may find difficulties with the page or the students or activity.
I don't know.
Okay, we are ready.
Let's go back to the activity book, the text in the activity book. So this is the first story.
Yes.
Let's talk about the second story, Ms. Nijla.
Yes.
I think you have a good idea about it. Would you please tell us about it, a summary about it?
Of course, this text is about a train journey when suddenly they faced a problem, and the driver said that there is a mechanical problem. The windscreen wiper was broken, and they could no more go on the journey. Everyone tried to help, maybe, but the man. We have here a man, as we can see in the picture, trying to fix it, to repair it, and everyone saw him with one leg on the platform and the other in the
He was standing on the platform with one leg,
and the other on the train, trying to fix it. They made many tries.
I have some questions now. So they tried to fix the windscreen wiper.
Yes.
Could they?
No.
They couldn't.
Unfortunately, they couldn't
did they
do
take,
anything.
Where was the train going?
To Manchester.
To Manchester.
Yes.
From London
to Manchester. And they couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do anything. They couldn't repair
they gave up.
the windscreen wiper. So they gave up at the end, and they took
another train.
A different train. So they didn't go on the same
train. They couldn't. Unfortunately, they couldn't fix it.
So this is the end of the story.
Yes.
We wish them good luck.
Of course.
Okay. What about the last story, Ms.
Well, the last story
it's about a
takes
woman,
place, yes, in Germany.
It's a nice story.
It's a very nice story. In fact, all the articles are nice. They are brought from, they are articles, funny articles. Well, this woman in Germany, she wanted to watch a sport match. So she was standing, and then a thief came suddenly and stole the ticket from her bag.
Good.
Well, then he discovered that he was sitting next to her husband. Well, he wanted to enter and watch the match, but he didn't know that he was stealing his wife's ticket. So later on, he was sitting somewhere else.
Good. How did they know that he was the thief of the ticket? Because
he was sitting.
Her husband, the woman's husband, was sitting.
He was waiting
for
her.
He was waiting for his wife.
Yes.
But he was surprised when he saw that someone else was sitting near him, not his wife.
Yes.
So he,
in her
let's say, he knew that this person stole the ticket from his wife, and he called the police, and he was taken maybe to prison.
Of course.
So it's a nice story.
Right.
By accident, you know, it's the will of God at the end. Well, dear colleagues, I think it's a very good idea to explain maybe some new words in these three texts.
Yes.
So let's try to match the words with their definitions at the end in exercise 2. Can you see them?
Yes,
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I hope that our students are working with us now. We have the word operation, the word neighbors, windscreen wiper, platform, security guard, tournament. Here we have 6 words, and we have some definitions on the right.
Yes.
When we say competition, what do we mean by it? When someone competes someone else. When we play football, for example,
Yes.
when 2 teams play football, they compete each other to win the game, to win the match. So they are competing, right?
Right.
So it is a competition at the end.
Of course.
When 2 students are trying maybe to end something or to write a story, to do something, they compete each other to finish first. So they are competing each others. This is the meaning of competition. So what is the right word here? Competition. What do you
Tournament.
think? It's tournament. Very good. Tournament.
Yes.
What about people living next door?
Yes.
course.
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yes.
So the
People who
neighbors
live next
are
to
the
our
people
doors.
who live near you, near your house maybe, in the next house, in the next flat. So they are your neighbors. So the people living next door means neighbors. Someone whose job is to protect a place or people.
Of
Yes.
course, the security guard
The
protects
security guard.
people
It's the
and
job of the
places.
security guard.
Yes, to solve
You're right,
problems.
Ms. Umayya.
Yes.
Miss Najla, the mechanical part of a vehicle that wipes water from the window.
Yes.
It wipes water.
Yes, of
Maybe
course.
it cleans the window.
Windscreen wiper
So it's moving all the time when
Yes.
it rains, you see.
helps
So,
us
you know,
to see
yes,
clear.
the windscreen wiper.
Yes.
The part of a train station where people stand and wait for the train. When we want to wait for a train, dear students, where do we wait?
Yes.
In the sky? Of
No,
course
of
no.
course.
So in your house? Of course not. We stand on something
Yes.
and wait for the train. What do we call this place?
Platform.
It is a platform.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. When a doctor or surgeon tries to repair a part of someone's body,
Yes,
So-
operation.
it is an operation.
Operation. Yes.
Someone goes to hospital to do an operation, he has some health problems, the doctor decides that he must have an operation, which means a surgical operation. He has to cut maybe his
The
skin,
body. Yes.
the body in,
Yes.
in one part of the body
Yes,
maybe.
of course.
We hope that we hope for all people to live a healthy life and to have not to have any, let's say, medical problems,
Medical, yes.
right, or
Right.
health problems. That's everything about the text. When we read a number of texts, dear students, you have noticed, dear colleagues, you have noticed that we used maybe some tenses here. In some cases we use the present tenses, and in other cases we use the past tenses.
Yes, of course.
So we didn't like really to explain something in grammar at the beginning of this seminar. We always try to teach grammar through context, and that's our message, or this is our message, not only to students but also to our colleagues in the field, the English teachers. Don't teach grammar from the beginning. You have to teach grammar through context. You can ask the students maybe to, let's say, find something, a grammatical rule from the text, to underline something, underline some words, then you let them conclude the rule.
That's right.
Don't give them the rule from the beginning.
Yes.
Let them think
Yes.
to reach or to conclude the grammatical rule. So when we talk about present tenses, I think it would be a good idea, dear colleagues, to start talking about tenses. As you can see, dear students, in Unit 1, we can see very clearly that there are some tenses in Unit 1. Not all present tenses, not all past tenses. I think Miss Umayma will give you an idea, a good idea. I will start with you.
Okay.
Then
Ready?
Miss Najla will continue, can continue.
Okay.
So the stage is yours. You can maybe talk about, I'm sure that you are going to talk about present tenses maybe.
Well, thank you, Mr. Basil. I'm going to start with the present tenses, and we notice that when we read, when we speak, we use the present tense. The simple present, let me start with the simple present, as we are going to speak about the simple and the continuous tenses. Well, we have the simple present and the present continuous, or we say progressive. Well, it's the same. Let me start by the simple present first. To speak about its use and give some examples about the simple present. Let me start with it. First of all, we say that we use it for repeated actions. We use the simple present for repeated actions. So let me first give some examples in order to clarify this point. Repeated actions. Well, example, we play tennis most weekends. We play tennis most weekends. So the verb is play, as you see. It's a simple present. Next, the other example, the second sentence, I paint pictures sometimes. I paint pictures sometimes. Another example or another sentence, Selma usually goes shopping on Fridays. Usually goes shopping on Fridays. So I gave 3 sentences to clarify the use of the simple present when I mean the repeated actions. Okay? This is about the simple present or present simple. Well, another use is that we use it for routine or situation. We use the simple present or present simple for routine or situation that we see as permanent. I'm going to give examples. I'm going to speak about 2 sentences which clarify this point, routine or situation that we see as permanent. Well, I work at sports shop. It's a permanent job. I work at sports shop. It's a permanent work. Another sentence, they live in a very nice flat. So we notice that we use here by saying these 2 sentences that we use it for routine or situation that we see as permanent. Well, we use the present simple also for thoughts and feelings. For thoughts and feelings. Let me also give examples about thoughts and feelings. The first example, I think you are right. I think express my feeling. Well, Faisal wants a new bike. Faisal wants a new bike. So I said that these are the sentences in which I introduce in order to clarify the use of present simple for thoughts and feelings. So, as you see, the second sentence, Faisal wants a new bike. Now the third sentence, most children like ice cream.
Good.
Most children like ice cream. Another use for the present simple, okay? We use it for
the
states
first
and
use,
facts.
Ms. Umayma,
Well, we say that we use
it for repeated actions, we use it to talk about routine, and we use it to talk about thoughts
and feelings,
and
we use it for
use.
States and facts.
Very nice.
Facts, sometimes scientific
What
facts
is the
or many other
difference between a
facts.
state and a fact? I think a state is something permanent, it doesn't change. It is related to life maybe. But when we talk about facts, we mean scientific facts.
Right.
Not, let's say, life facts. Let's say that. General statements are called states.
That's right.
About life.
About life.
So
General statements.
let's have some examples.
Well,
maybe,
let's introduce some examples to clarify this idea that we use the present simple.
Here, the first sentence. I know Ahmed quite well.
Yes.
Is it a state or a fact?
It's a state.
I know Ahmed.
I know Ahmed quite well.
It is something permanent. I know him.
Well, it's a state.
It's a state.
Right. Well, we live on a farm in the countryside. We live on a farm in the countryside.
It's something permanent situation. Yes.
So it's a state.
You're right.
It's
You're right.
also
You're
a
right.
state. Now, speaking about facts, Latakia lies on the Syrian coast.
Yes.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Well,
Yes.
yes, geographical fact.
Yes.
Earth goes round the sun.
Good.
It's also a scientific fact.
Very
Earth
nice.
goes round the sun. So here I introduce the use
So
of...
here it is wrong, dear students, to use any other tense.
Yes, of course.
We can't use any other tense when we talk about facts. We can't say, for example, Latakia lied on the Syrian coast, for example. It's wrong to say that. If we say that Latakia lied on the Syrian coast, it means that it changed its place and went to somewhere else. So it's wrong to say that. We can't use any tense else. We have to use only the present simple.
Yes.
Very good. So the present simple, what about the form, Ms. Umayma?
Well, now I'm going to speak about the form of the present simple. We say that it has the infinitive form, the zero form.
Yes.
The verb is in the zero form, the infinitive verb. So it has the same as infinitive.
Yes.
But we add s to the pronouns he, she, and it. So students should take care of the pronoun of the sentence or the subject of the sentence. If it is he, she, or it, he should put s to the verb. Well, if the subject is the third person singular, I mean, he, she, and it, we add s or es to the verb. For example, I like, he likes. I go, she goes. I carry, she carries. Okay? Now, this is the form of the present simple.
What about the negative form, the question?
Well, for the negative and the question form, we add don't or doesn't in the negative form. We add do and do and does.
Let's show the students.
Let's show it and clarify the point. So we use do and don't in negative and questions with pronouns I, you, they, and we. Examples. We don't play tennis in winter. Do you play tennis? So we use don't in the negative, do with the question if we have the pronouns I, you, they, and we.
Good.
We use present simple, we use does and doesn't with the third person singular. He, she, and it. Let's clarify it with sentences or examples. He doesn't want any help. What does he want? So we notice that we use does and doesn't with the third person singular, he, she, and it when we speak about present simple.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that the explanation, dear students, was very clear to you. The uses of the simple present, the form of the present simple, and the negative form, question form, how we should use do or don't, how we should use does or doesn't, everything related to the simple present. Again, don't forget that we have some spelling rules when adding s to the verb if the subject is a third person singular. Okay, the main rule is to add to add s. But sometimes we can't add s only, we have to add es to the verb when a verb ends with, let's say, ch, sh, o, x, double s, z. After these letters we have to add es, not s only. Sometimes some verbs, dear students, end with y. For example, study. When you say I study, it ends with y. When you want to add s to the verb, you have to change the y into I, then you add es. But we have some, let's say, some exceptions. If there is a vowel before the y, don't change the y into I. For example, I say, Najla says. Here we don't change the y into I because there is a vowel before y. I buy, she buys. So here we don't change the y into I. Before we go on, Ms. Najla,
yes.
To talk about the present continuous, I know it's your turn to talk about it,
yes.
and you are ready to talk about it. I think it would be a good idea if we have a break for some seconds, not minutes, of course. So, dear students, let's have a short break, then we can go back. Before we go, I'd like to remind you that you can use the phone numbers at the bottom of the screen. You can call us and ask us about anything in your course. We will be ready to answer your questions. Let's have a break and then we can go back. Hello again, dear students. Welcome back to our English seminar for this year. I know it's the first English seminar for grade 9 this year. Let me welcome again my dear colleagues in the studio. Ms. Umayma was talking about the present simple before the break. Now it's Ms. Najla's turn to talk about the present continuous. Ms. Najla, please.
Yes. Now we are going to turn to present continuous. Of course, we know that we use it for something that is happening at the moment, or at the moment of speaking.
At the time of speaking, yes, we can say that.
And let us clarify the idea by these examples. For example, Ali is enjoying his holiday in London. I'm making you a cup of tea, Mom. Alia and Tariq are studying at the moment. So here we use the present continuous to express that they are on. They are.
So all the people here,
yes.
Ali, Alia, and you maybe,
yes.
are doing something at the time of speaking. Ali
yes.
is enjoying his holiday in London. It means that he is in London
Still
now,
in London.
and he is enjoying his time in London.
Yes.
Alia and Tariq are studying at the moment, so it means that they are doing something now at the time of speaking. They are studying now.
Yes.
We in the studio now are discussing or explaining tenses, present tenses and past tenses. And I hope that our dear students are watching us now, watching the seminar. So here we use it to talk about something happening now, as you said, Ms. Najla,
yes.
at the time of speaking. Okay? Let's have some examples
yes.
now. Dear students, you can see very clearly this picture. We try to bring something, let's say, funny to you. It's a nice picture, and I think it's very clear that the students here, or the kids here, are in the classroom. And there is a teacher. What is the teacher doing, Miss Umayma?
Well, he is watching some students doing something at the table.
Good.
The teacher is standing and is watching. Okay?
Good. dear students, you can see very clearly in this picture that we have one table on the right, one table on the left, one table here at the front, and another small table here on the right. Let's look at the first table on the right here near the teacher. Some students, 3 students, are doing something. Miss Najla, what are they doing here?
They are reading some books.
They are reading some books. They are reading. Very nice. Look at the girl here on the small table here, Miss Umayma.
Yes.
What is she doing?
I see that she is sleeping.
She is sleeping and she is enjoying her time. Yes. What are the boys or the kids doing on the table, let's say on the left, here?
To the left.
On the left, to the left, yes.
Yes,
So
they are playing.
they are playing, very
Yes.
nice. Miss Umayma, there is a boy
Yes.
near the window here. What is he doing?
Well, this boy, I like him. I like this boy. He's watching the
Something,
sun.
yeah.
He's watching something. He's enjoying watching at the same time. Look at the way that he is sitting at the window and he's watching the
Very
sky,
nice.
the things. I
Yes,
know.
yes. What about the boys here at the front, Miss Najla? What are they doing here?
They are
boys and
painting.
girls?
They are painting.
They are painting.
enjoying their
They are
time by
enjoying
painting.
their hobby, yes.
Some pictures.
So you can see, dear students, that in our classrooms we try to do something we like, we enjoy to do it, right?
Yes.
We feel that we are happy when we do it. So when you go to your classroom, we hope that you have the same feeling. Try to play, try to do something you like, to enjoy your time in your classroom. And I think the teacher is very nice because he is, let's say, allowing the students or his students to do what they like,
yes.
many activities, different activities in one classroom. In one classroom.
And they work in group.
And this is what we want, yes, in our classrooms.
Yes.
But not sleeping, of course.
Not sleeping, of course,
Yes,
alone.
Yes, yes.
Sleeping
Maybe she
alone.
is tired. Okay, it's okay. Let's go on, Miss
Yes.
Najla.
Now the
Before you
second,
go on, sorry.
Yes.
I think we have a call. Rita from Tartus, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Rita?
I'm good. I'm a student, grade 9.
Good. Rita, Rita, did you call us at the beginning of this seminar?
Yes.
Are you the same? The same
No.
person? The same person? No. Okay. What is your question, Rita? Your question.
What do you mean by state verbs?
State verb. I think
Yes.
we have answered this question before you called us, but it's okay. Miss Umayma will try to answer you.
Well, when we speak about the present simple, we say that we use the simple present with the states and facts, okay? But if your question is about state verbs and activity verbs, do you mean the state, that we use the present simple with the states and facts, or do you mean asking about verbs, if they are...
State verb means or refers to something fixed, or refers to something which has no action, no movement. When, for example, Rita say, I love.
Emotions.
I
Adverb, yes,
feel.
emotions,
These
feelings.
verbs are called state verbs. They are not action verbs. As you know, we have state verbs and we have action verbs. Don't worry, we have some exercises later on and we are going to cover this point. But I'd like to thank you for your question. When we say play, Rita, are you with me? Rita,
Yes.
are you with me?
Yes.
I'd like to ask you, when we say play, is the verb play a state verb or an action verb?
Action verb.
Very good. The word know, the verb know, I know Rita, I know Umayma. Is the verb know a state verb or an action verb?
Action verb.
No.
No.
I know him, I know Selma, I know Rita. It's not an action verb. It's a state verb. I like,
I love,
I love.
hate.
So they need to
I
know about
hate.
state verbs.
All these verbs are state verbs, okay?
Yes.
No action. When there is an action, it is called an action verb. When there is no action, it is called a state verb. Clear?
Okay.
For example, when I say, I have a bike, what about the verb have? Have is not an action verb.
Yes.
It's a state verb. Okay?
Okay.
When I was a little boy, I used to like chocolate. What about the verb like? Is it a state verb or an action verb? Rita, like. Is there an action here? Rita?
No.
I
No.
cannot hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
You can listen to us from the phone, not from the TV. You have to listen to us from the phone, Rita. Is like a state verb? Okay,
my
goodbye. Like is a state verb. Thank you. I hope that the answer is clear.
Yes, because when students grade 9, when they
Yes.
study the
Yes.
used to and the word, they need to know about the
But
state
before
verbs.
grade 9, they say they didn't have an idea about maybe
To
state
differentiate,
verbs
yes.
and action verbs. This is the first time they read about state verbs
They
and
have to
action verbs.
differentiate
So
between them.
it's, I think, the role of the teacher here
Yes.
to
Clarify.
explain or clarify this point to the students. Let's go back to Miss Nejla. Thank you.
Now the second use of the present continuous, we use it for something happening about this time, but not necessarily at the time of speaking. I'm going to clarify this. He is studying at Damascus University this year. I'm working at the sports shop this month.
Good.
So here,
Ms.
this
Nejla,
year
here,
and
I
this
think it's
month.
very important to clarify this point. Please.
Yes. Here, this year and this month is a duration of time.
Yes.
But here is the action covers this duration of time. So it's not now, happening now.
Yes.
And
So
after that now.
You mean that the present continuous, the main use of the present continuous
Yes.
is to talk about something happening now at the time of speaking.
Yes.
But we can use it
Yes.
to talk about something happening, let's say, about this time.
Yes.
About this time, but not necessarily at the
This
time of
time
speaking.
or at that moment.
Maybe if you go back to the first example,
Yes.
when we say he is studying at Damascus University this year, it's okay, he is studying at Damascus University, but maybe now he is sleeping.
Yes.
He is having lunch now.
But
We
for
don't-
this
we don't
period
know.
of time,
Watching
He's
us.
watching us now.
in general,
But
yes.
okay, this year,
In general,
he's studying, in general, he's studying at
Studying
Damascus
at
University.
Damascus
the second
University.
example, I'm working at a sports shop this month, but maybe I'm sleeping now.
yes.
I'm reading a book now, but this month I'm doing something. Very nice. What about the next example?
The next example for present continuous, we use it for the near future,
Yes.
not far future. For example, I can say I'm visiting Ruba today in the afternoon. So I'm arranging to visit
Personal
her.
arrangements for the
Yes.
future, for the
Yes.
near future.
Yes,
You
I'm
mean we
arranging
can
to
use the
visit
present
her.
continuous to talk about the near future.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can use it. Good.
Yes. The second example, please. My relatives from France are coming to visit us in July.
Thank you.
They are not here now, but
Yes.
they arranged to
Yes.
come and visit us in July.
Good.
Okay?
Very nice. Thank you. What about the form of the
The
present
form, of
continuous?
course, we know that the form we have to add the verb to be, according, of course, to the subject, the suitable verb to be. Then we add ing to the
Good.
verb, to the
Yes.
main verb.
Good. Thank you very much. That's everything about the present tenses
Present?
in Unit 1.
Yes.
Ms. Umayma, let's move on to talk about the past tenses, please.
Well, to speak about the past tenses, we will speak about the past simple and the past continuous.
Yes.
Let me start with the past simple.
Okay.
Well, we use the past simple to refer to events which happened and finished in the past. Finished events in the past. So this is the first use of, or the use of the simple past. We use it for finished actions or events in the past. Let me clarify this point by giving some or a few sentences. He moved to Canada when he was 5. So when he was 5, it means not now. It's in the past. He moved to Canada.
Yes.
We played basketball yesterday. We have the word yesterday. Here we have time reference. So we use the past simple. I passed the exam last year. So last year means that I must use the past simple. I passed.
Yes.
I told you 5 minutes ago. Well, here are a few sentences to clarify the use of the past events which finished in the past, okay? Events which finished in the past. Now, to speak about the past simple, to make the negative, we should use didn't with all the pronouns.
Yes.
Didn't.
We use did.
We use did for the question, and we use didn't for the to form the negative. Okay.
Yes.
So for the negative, I'm going to give an example or a sentence. We didn't win the game. Okay. And we form the questions. We say, for example, where did you stay? Where did you stay? So this is all about the past simple.
Thank you very much. Miss Najla, please, what about the past continuous now?
The past continuous, we use it to talk about something that was in progress, okay? Or to say that we were in the middle of an action. I'm going to clarify this. Nasir was riding his bike when he fell off. So here we have
what
two
was
actions.
Nasir doing
Yes.
when he fell off?
Yes, here we have two actions. He was riding.
Yes,
Yes,
he was
his
riding
bike.
his bike.
Yes.
What were you doing, sorry for interruption, at this time yesterday?
I was eating.
Sorry for embarrassing you.
No,
What about you, Mima?
I was
What were
watching
you
TV.
doing?
I was watching TV yesterday.
Well,
Can we say it?
I was
when
having
I
lunch.
was, yes.
I was having
I
lunch
was
at
having
this time,
lunch,
maybe.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, while I was shopping in the market, I met my friend. So here we have also two actions happening in the
So
past.
when he met his friend, what
Well,
was he doing?
He was
shopping in the market.
Yes.
A
And
good-
here
a
we
good
have
example.
a longer action interrupted by shorter one.
So the first action
The first one is
was
shopping.
in progress for
yes.
some time in the past, and there is another action which interrupted the first
longer
action.
one. Yes.
So I was shopping and I met my a new friend or my friend.
Yes.
Good.
Let us read the third one. We were going to school when it rained. We were going to school when it rained. So we were in progress. We didn't reach the school yet, and it started to rain.
So when it started to rain, we were going to school.
Yes.
We were in the street. We were going. We were going. We were
didn't
walking
reach
maybe,
yet.
or going by bus, by car. It's okay, but we were going to school
Yeah.
when it rained. Very nice. What about the form now, please?
The form, of course.
It has maybe another use. The past
Yes,
continuous.
we often
sorry.
use the past continuous and past and the simple past together when a shorter action interrupted a longer one. I fell asleep while I was watching television. So here, the same idea. We have
Same
longer,
idea, yes.
longer action interrupted by shorter one. The following one, the phone rang while Mom was making lunch. So Mom haven't finished yet, and the phone.
She was
rang.
making lunch.
She was still,
The phone rang.
yes,
While
working.
she
She
was
was still
doing
making something,
Yes.
and the phone rang and interrupted her working.
Good. What about the form now?
The form is somehow similar to the present continuous. Here we have to add the verb to be, but in the past. As you know, my dear student, we turn the is and am verbs to be into was. The are, we turn it into were. And also we have to add ing to the verb, to the end of the verb.
Good, good. Thank you very much. Now, that's everything for the tenses found or explained in Unit 1.
Yes.
But maybe we have another rule, another grammatical rule, which is some auxiliary verbs. They are explained in the activity book, well explained. We will try to cover them now. We have two auxiliary verbs, used to and
Yes,
would.
and would, yes.
Let's show the students how we can use them, what is the reason, why and how we use them.
Yes.
Please, Ms.
Well,
Umayma.
let me start by speaking about used to.
Yes.
We use it for repeated states or repeated actions in the past. I mean about the past and repeated states and actions. We use used to, and the negative form is didn't use to. Used to in the affirmative sentences and didn't use to the negative form of it. So let me give examples about it. I used to want to be a doctor, but now I want to be a teacher.
So let's focus on the verb want here.
Yes.
And I think Rita maybe asked a question about this. The verb want here is not an action verb, it's a state verb. So I used to want to be a doctor, it's a wish here. It's my wish. I always wanted to, right?
In the past.
To be a doctor in the...
In the past.
In the past.
Yes.
In the past, not now.
Yes.
Of course. But now I want to be a teacher. I changed my mind.
Yes.
And I want something else now. So the verb want here is a state verb because it is related to feelings, emotions. It's not an action verb.
Yes.
I hope Rita is watching us now and she understands now, understands the meaning of the state verbs and action verbs. Okay.
Now to speak about the action verb, I'm going to give an example about using used to with an action, repeated actions in the past. This sentence, we used to go on holiday every summer. So every summer in the past we used to go. The verb go is an action verb. We use used to with
so you mean
action,
that used
actions.
to, the auxiliary verb, used to, can be used before state verbs and can be used before action verbs.
Yes.
And it is used to talk about states or repeated actions in the past.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
I have given a different example. When I was a little boy, I said, I used to like fish or I used to like chocolate.
Yes.
But now I don't like chocolate anymore. Maybe.
Yes.
I like chocolate, by the way. So that's everything about you.
Yes, about you.
What about would, Ms. Najla?
Would is the second one we are going to focus on, and we can use would and after it an infinitive verb to talk about repeated habits or actions in the past, but not states. So we have to
habits, repeated habits in the past, not states.
Not states.
How?
Yes.
Examples, please.
Examples, I'm going to write them. Every afternoon, my friends and I would talk for hours on the phone.
So the verb talk is an action verb. This is number one.
Yes.
A very important
dinner,
point.
Yes.
Yes.
After dinner, grandfather would sit and tell us all stories from long ago.
It's a habit.
Yes.
Habitual actions in the past.
Yes.
Not repeated actions. There is a difference between repeated actions and habits in the past. Okay, we know sometimes the habits are repeated because every day when I go to work, I drink a cup of coffee. I drink coffee. It's my habit.
It's my habit.
Yes.
And it is at the same time a repeated action.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so it's okay, habits in the past, but not states, of course.
Not states.
Not
we can't
states.
use it with
so
the states.
We understand from you, Ms. Najla, that the verb would is used only before action verbs. It is not used before state verbs. So please, dear students, don't use would before state verbs. Use it before action
It's a rule.
verbs.
Of course.
Only.
Only. That's it. I think that's everything for the grammatical rules. I think it would be a nice idea if we watch a video. Sorry, I can't see. Yes, now it's very clear. I think I'd like to invite you, in fact, dear students, to watch this video with us. I hope that it would be very beneficial to you, and it will summarize everything we explained and maybe more details than we said.
Yes.
Let's watch it.
Simple, regular, verbs. Past simple, affirmative. Rule. Infinitive plus ed. What? I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Walked. No special person. He walked his dog. Some variants. Verbs ending in E. Infinitive. Dance. Phone. Plus danced. Phoned. Dance. She danced very well. Short verbs ending in consonant plus vowel. Infinitive. Travel. Shop. Plus traveled. Shopped. Travel. They traveled by car. Verbs ending in consonant plus Y. Infinitive. Cry. Study. Plus cried. Studied. She studied a lot. Past simple related expressions. Last, night, Monday, week, month. Winter, year, days, a week, a month. A year, ago. Yesterday, listen. Yesterday, they listened to music. Watch. Yesterday, he watched TV. Phone. Last night, he phoned home. Last Tuesday, we cooked lunch. Photograph. Last month, she photographed a windmill. Travel. Last summer, they traveled by plane. Walk. Last week, I walked my dog. Visit. A year ago, she visited London. Past simple, negative. Rule. Did plus not didn't plus infinitive. Play. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Didn't play. No special person. He didn't play baseball. Affirmative. Paint. Last week they painted. Negative. They didn't paint. Painted. Didn't paint. Affirmative. Walk. Last winter he walked in the snow. Negative. He didn't walk. Walked. Didn't walk. Affirmative. Play. Yesterday he played baseball. Negative. He didn't play baseball. Played. Didn't play. Cry. 2 days ago she cried. She didn't cry. Cried. Didn't cry. Use. Last Monday, they used the computers. They didn't use computers. Use. Didn't use. Past simple interrogative. Rule. Did plus subject plus infinitive. Did, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Study. No special person. Did she study? Did she visit London? Yes, she did. Did he play tennis? No, he didn't. He played baseball. Did they listen to music? Yes, they did. Did they travel by car? No, they didn't. They traveled by plane. Did you walk your dog? Yes, I did.
That's it, dear students. I think, I hope the video was interesting and it focused on what we have explained during the seminar. I think it would be a good idea also if we watch this short video. It's not so long. Let's watch it and see how it focuses on the past continuous and the past simple together. So let's watch the second video. I try to enlarge the photo, the picture. It's ready now. Okay, let's watch it.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody in the town was doing their own work. But suddenly, a car crashed into a tree. Everybody shared this news with other people, they said. When the accident happened, I was doing my homework. I was playing my guitar. We were having a great party. I was looking around. I was repairing my car. I was waiting for my friend and reading the newspaper. I was working in my office. I was mending the roof. We were learning English. I was playing my flute.
Okay, dear students, I hope that this video was interesting. It focused, as we said, on how to use the past continuous, Miss Najla, Miss Umayma, with the past simple. When there was an action, it was in progress for some time, and something else or another action interrupted it. For example, let me ask Miss Najla a question. When I asked you, what were you doing at this time yesterday? You told me you were eating
pizza.
So when Najla, or while Najla was eating, her friend Umayma called her, phoned her. So there are two actions. One action which was in progress for some time, which is the eating.
Started before, yes.
Activity, and the second one when Umayma called her.
Me.
So this action interrupted the first action. Yes. This is what we mean. I'm sure, and you know, dear students, that we have a number or a lot of activities or exercises in the activity book. Maybe if there is time, do we have time or not? 1 minute, sorry, we don't have enough time to do an exercise. I'm sure that you did all these exercises of Unit 1 with your teacher, maybe in the classroom or at home. Before we leave you at the end of this seminar, dear students, let me ask Ms. Najla to give a piece of advice. You have only maybe 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, 20 seconds, one advice, one piece of advice.
Yes, to my dear students in the 9th grade, I would advise you the first one, that please don't delay your work. Try to study every day your lessons by day by day. The second one for English, if you want to study English well, so please try to practice it. To
read more.
And to read more.
Yes.
If you want to write, so write out or write down your basic ideas of the ideas.
Thank you very much, Ms. Najla. Ms. Umayma, please.
Thank you, Mr. Basil. Well, I'd like to advise my students, first of all, very good luck to all of you. Study well and carefully, please slowly. Try to understand the words and the grammar. You notice that grammar is easy when you understand it. Study it into the context of the book and through the paragraphs, through the exercise, which are, there are a lot of exercise in your books. Try to study them very carefully. Try to do them by yourself. If you have any question, we are always ready.
Thank you very much. My piece of advice, my advice, dear students, is not to deal with English. When you want to deal in English, don't try to translate or to use Arabic at all. Try to think in English. Do everything in English. Let's say practice the language itself, just like swimming or riding a bike or anything.
Activity, yes.
So it's an activity. So try to use the four skills together. Listen to English, speak English, write English, and read. The more you read, the more experience you will get or you will have. Well, at the end of this seminar, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear parents who are watching us, let me thank my colleagues in the studio, Ms. Najla Dubesi, an English teacher from Damascus countryside.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you,
Ms.
Mr.
Umayma
Basil.
Sherba, an English supervisor from Tartus, thank you very much for your participation. Dear students, till we meet in other seminars, we wish you all the best and goodbye. Thank you.